7th, 2023, when over 1,200 innocents were slaughtered, families were burned, hostages were taken. It was an orgy of hatred that targeted Jews explicitly and unapologetically. The Anti-Defamation League's latest Global 100 Index reveals that almost half of the world's adults now harbor deeply entrenched anti-Semitic attitudes, more than double the figure from a decade ago, and the highest they have on record. Younger generations, sadly, under 35, show even higher levels of prejudice. And meanwhile, the Combat Anti-Semitism movement documented a staggering 107% increase in global incidences in 2024, not 81 years ago, in 2024. In the United States, the ADL's 2024 audit recorded 9,354 incidents, the highest ever in their 46 years of tracking. Assaults up 21%, vandalism up 20%, campus incidences amongst our young people exploding at 84%. In Europe, the surge has been especially acute. The European Union Agency for Fundamental Rights documented that Jewish communities reported an increase of more than 400% in anti-Semitic incidences, harassment, threats, vandalism, and violence. And this wave of hate has left synagogues under siege. Jewish students, once again, hiding their identity. Whole communities living in fear. I mean, what are we, back in 1933? This is absurd. And we have to call it out. And I commend the United Nations for continuing to hold this event. But it is, look, this is a people that cannot live unless they live within fear. It's families fleeing their neighborhoods. I mean, I've seen synagogues here in the United States with armed guards, armed up like fortresses, and the venomous chants that are echoing in the streets and on our campus and online. It's Holocaust denial, it's distortion, it's rehabilitation in these historic narratives of Nazi collaborators. It's the manipulation of history right here at the UN and elsewhere. It's all a pretext for hatred. And it leads to things like we just saw at Bondi Beach in December. 15 innocent people murdered during Hanukkah. Elie Wiesel once hoped that anti-Semitism perished in Auschwitz. And sadly, he lived to see its horrific resurrection. We cannot wait for another liberation. So what do we do about it? Like, what do we do? Well, first and foremost, education, commemoration. I firmly believe, and I know so many of you do, remain our mightiest weapons. We have to amplify survivors' voices. By the way, I am so honored to meet you, to know you, to understand your history, but to celebrate your strength, to truly celebrate your strength. You did not become a lifelong victim. You moved forward and educate the next generation so that this can never happen again. Look, we have to teach that next generation that this dark abyss that leads to and results from unbridled Semitism is someplace we can never go again. And we urge every nation to honor the victims and survivors by teaching this history unflinchingly. No future generation can repeat these horrors. And the United States proudly stands as a founding member of the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. Reiterating at every turn, never again. We reaffirm our commitment to justice through restitution, and through compensation. The other horrible thing, amongst many horribles, is that the Holocaust was history's largest organized theft. an attempt to erase Jewish life, but at the same time enriching the Nazis. And for decades, I'm proud to say, the U.S. has led efforts, now advanced by the State Department's Special Envoy for Holocaust Issues, who works very closely with the Special Envoy for Anti-Semitism, Rabbi Yehuda Kaplun, whom I am proud to call a friend and a wingman in this fight. In 2024, the U.S. partnered globally to promote the best practices for the Washington Principles on Nazi-confiscated art and assets. And as of December of 2025, 35 countries applauded. But we should also ask, why only 35? Why isn't there more? And I'm calling on all nations to join. Look, colleagues, President Trump has advanced these causes resolutely. Right out the gate, after his inauguration, he issued executive orders and ordered our entire government, the entire might and weight of the United States government, to combat anti-Semitism aggressively on every front. But Excellencies, the Holocaust, as we've heard here today, and I just want to reinforce, the Holocaust is not distant history. It is a dire, living warning against efforts to revive this existential threat to humanity. The barbarism of October 7th reminds us how quickly hatred can erupt into mass murder. The future hangs on our choices we make right here today. And on this solemn day, please let us honor the victims through decisive action. What are those actions? Truthful, accurate remembrance in history, rigorous Holocaust education, open the archives, full restitution, and an unbreakable stand against anti-Semitism everywhere and always. May the memory of the victims be a blessing, but a call to responsibility for us all. Never again, starting now. Let's get to work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ambassador Waltz. It is my pleasure